Exactly 3 years ago, I was sitting behind my desk. I was eating junk food. I was playing video games. I didn't know what to do with my life. Do I sound relatable to you guys? Well, I felt like a weak modern man who played video games every day. I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't have aspiration. I was clueless. But then this one day, I saw that a lot of my classmates went to the gym. They became stronger. They actually did something with their life. And it really pissed me off deeply because I also wanted to become that man. I wanted to become respected. I wanted to become strong. I wanted to do something interesting with my life for once. So I actually decided back then to go to the gym. I went every day and I became much stronger. I became healthier. I became more disciplined with zero motivation. What I want to tell you guys is that with this little backstory of mine, you can do anything you believe you can't do if you just have the discipline you need. For example, if you have zero motivation, you should always be extremely disciplined whether you feel like it or not, because that is how you're gonna get that success. Well, let me go back. After I went for a whole year consequently to the gym, I actually became a stronger man. I actually felt better about myself. Now, this was the moment that I saw that I wanted to become something much more than only being strong at the gym. I wanted to become a successful entrepreneur. Well, obviously, I'm not a successful entrepreneur yet, but what I want to tell you guys is that the fact that I didn't believe that I could even go consequently to the gym, and I actually did it, means that for sure I will be a successful entrepreneur one day. Do I seem relatable to you guys? Well, what I want to tell you now is that 1 year after I began going to the gym, I one day scrolled on YouTube because I was still a degenerate when it comes to watching YouTube, watching short clips, procrastinating, not being disciplined, having zero motivation. What I did is I saw Iman Gadzhi's video. Well, you guys probably know who he is. He's a successful entrepreneur. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about him. That's another topic. But what I want to tell you guys is that I saw that a 23-year-old guy was super successful, super rich. It didn't seem logic to me. Like, why should this guy be better than us, right? What makes him a successful entrepreneur? What makes him 100 times more successful than other 23-year-olds? There has to be something, right? There has to be something that makes him so unique. Well, what I want to tell you guys is that I found this new opportunity in my life. I began realizing that the thing that really makes you successful is that you have to be extremely disciplined. You have to do something every single day for the same amount of time without you even wanting to do it. So, for example, if you have zero motivation and you set for yourself that you have to work from 5 to 7 on your business, right? You have to go back to yourself, ask yourself, wait, I said that I was going to do it from 5 to 7 and actually do it. So now I'm going to give you guys sort of step-by-step solution as how I see what you have to do to actually become extremely disciplined, because it's much easier said than done. The thing is that to become extremely disciplined is so important, because I looked at Iman Gadzhi, other YouTube money gurus, for example, Mike Thurston, you name it, Andrew Kirby, so many YouTube money gurus or successful YouTubers, successful entrepreneurs, and they have one thing in common. They're not the smartest, they're not the most intelligent, but they stuck on one thing for such a long amount of time, and they actually were extremely disciplined. Like, for example, Mike Tyson, he's a successful boxer, we all know, right? He might not even be the strongest person on earth, but he is one of the most disciplined persons on earth. Do you guys see where I'm going here? Now, before I give you guys my strategies on what helped me to become much more successful in the gym and now to become a successful entrepreneur, I want to ask you guys some questions. Do you think that watching a lot of motivation videos is going to help you? Probably yes, because otherwise all of these famous YouTubers won't be successful because you're giving them their attention. Why can't you take a step back for once and produce a video yourself? I mean, you got a phone, you got a camera, start producing now. Okay, second misconception is that you probably think that you can't become successful because you're not that strong, you're not smart, you're not intelligent. But the thing is, maybe Albert Einstein or maybe Mike Tyson, they weren't good at boxing in the beginning, but they just went every single day and they actually made progress every single day. It doesn't make that much difference how much progress you make in the beginning if you just go. For example, if you want to go to the gym, you're not going to be able to do the 1 hour sessions every day. If you're starting out, you got to go 10 minutes to the gym. Is it easy? Of course it is. It's much easier than going 1 hour. And then you'll see that progress much faster, right? And then our last misconception is that you can't become successful because you have to do the dishes, because you have to go to your jiu-jitsu practice, whatever. It's all good and that to do those things, but you gotta set your priorities straight. You gotta ask yourself, what is my biggest thing that I want to work for every day consecutively? And if you know what that thing is, you should just do that thing every day on a consecutive basis. That's the only way that you're gonna be successful. Like for example, Mike Tyson, he's a pro boxer. Are people pissed off because he's not the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world? Of course not, because he is a professional boxer. That's the only thing people care about. So you gotta focus on that one thing, right? Now I'm gonna give you guys my step-by-step solution or strategy on how to actually become extremely disciplined. Step 1, choose the thing you want to become disciplined in and do it at least 1 year every day for 2 hours consequently. If you can't do that, then you won't be extremely disciplined in the long run. Number 2, you have to use zero motivation as your competitive advantage. Now let me give you an example. For instance, if you go to the boxing school and you want to become the best boxer in the world, there are probably people that go every single day, but then one day they stop because they don't have motivation. When you're at that point, when you have zero motivation, you should realize that there is a lot of people that are feeling the same way at that same moment, and they're quitting at moments. So if you realize that they're quitting, you gotta realize that, wow, I realize that a lot of my competition is quitting at that moment, and I don't feel the motivation. So what if I just continue? Then I'm gonna be much more successful. Now, number 3 is that you gotta enjoy pain, love pain, embrace pain. If you're going to the gym and you want to do some repetitions on a bicep curl, for instance, you gotta enjoy the pain. If you can't love or embrace the pain, you're gonna have a much harder time to reaching that point of extreme discipline. And pain is actually a beautiful thing because pain equals progress, right? Now, being extremely disciplined made so many people successful. Think about Iman Gadzhi, think about Mike Tyson, think about Usain Bolt. They were all extremely disciplined in their one thing. So that means if they can be extremely disciplined, why can't you become extremely disciplined? And now I'm gonna just give you guys some examples of how being extremely disciplined helped me in my personal life. Well, before I actually started my entrepreneurial journey, I went to the gym and I did it consecutively for now 2 to 3 years approximately. What I did is that I went every single day for at least 45 minutes. I did it every single day. I didn't like it, but now I'm much stronger, I'm much healthier, I'm much happier in my life. Now, another thing is that last year I went to Spain and I wanted to study Spanish. Now, a lot of my competition, a lot of my students, they were already satisfied with having a mediocre B2 diploma. Or a B1 diploma. It's like mid-level Spanish. But I wanted to have a C1 diploma. I wanted to become fluently speaking in Spanish. So what did I do? I studied every single day Spanish for maybe 2 hours a day, even when I had zero motivation, even when the sun was shining, even when all my freaking friends were at the beach playing volleyball, whatever. I just decided to study every single day for 2 hours at least. And what happened? I got my C1 diploma, so now I'm fluent in speaking Spanish. Podemos hablar español, si quieres. Now, the last thing that I want to tell you guys before I end this video is that I'm not a successful entrepreneur yet. But by realizing that these things help me by using these simple tactics, I am sure that maybe in a couple of years, maybe in a couple of months, maybe in a decade, I don't care, I will eventually become a successful entrepreneur, and you will eventually become a successful entrepreneur too.